Ladies and gentlemen, Piers Morgan isn't number one. He's not number two. He's not number 10. Piers Morgan is fired. Piers Morgan is gone. He'll probably, in some face-saving event, have a monthly magazine show, I predict, on CNN that's now basically going to cooking shows and entertainment because people know that they have an agenda of fraud and deceit and anti-liberty. Everything that's pro-God, pro-gun, pro-family is exploding in value. Everything that's anti-God, guns, and guts and family is going down in value. But it doesn't matter. You've got the hijacked government with all the trendy followers who don't even get their news from news. They get their news from the culture. And that's the final domino to fall is the movies and the sitcoms and the dramas where Obama is now mainly focusing. And Paul Watson's doing an article on that right now titled, Obama is taking over late night television. And that's where you've got all the pro-Obama stuff and the Obama visits and the Michelle Obama stuff. They're targeting the young people, the yuppies, who literally don't even get their news from news. Because that's the process. First, they discredit news by taking it over in the last few decades and turning it into propaganda. Now that they're done with it, we go right to White House press releases and right to propaganda and product placement and propaganda placement, what they call behavior placement, inside of the cartoons, the movies, the dramas. So you turn on movies and the gun owners are child molesters. You go watch a cartoon, the bad guys are tricornered hat terrorists. They're going to blow up the dam and Green Lantern has to stop them. You go turn on Breaking Bad and the meth head is a Ron Paul fan. Every single show has an anti-freedom bent until the last year. Suddenly, those shows aren't doing as well, the ones that have an anti-liberty bent, and I'm seeing more of a freedom, libertarian slant, as they would call it. So there's a real revolution of awakening, especially in the intelligentsia. The system may have 40% of the population totally ignorant, totally dumb, ready to buy anything they're told. Everything is awesome. Everything's cool when you're part of a team. They want tripling and quadrupling of their Obamacare prices. They love every screw job that comes along. They think they're winners. Those people don't count because they're not intellectuals. They're not part of society. When you get into intellectual society, left, right, center, I don't care what it is, people don't like the Republican leadership. They don't like the Democratic leadership. They don't like the establishment. They don't, I mean, I'm talking about rich people, folks, don't like the stagnation and don't like the select corporations that are tax exempt, like Google and Microsoft and General Electric and Warren Buffett and all the rest of them. They really are starting to understand the message that it isn't just rich and poor. It's nouveau riche and renaissance and entrepreneurs and the working class and the middle class versus the insider technocrats who literally control the money machines and the issuance of money. And the fact that whether it's MSNBC or CNN, it doesn't matter, or Al Gore's Current TV, they are all in total ratings free fall. So why do we get so excited when we're on their shows? Why is it so prestigious when the Wall Street Journal or the New York Times calls? Folks, I've had the Wall Street Journal, the New York Times call, you name it, and want to do profiles, and I say no. And they say, we are the New York Times, we are New Yorker Magazine, we are the on and on and on. And I said, even if you wrote a positive piece, your editors won't let you publish it, A. B, you don't matter anymore. Well, even the New York Times editorial board came out and said, we aren't relevant, we aren't pertinent, no one is listening to us, we cannot cause any debate. When I was in the New York Times for the first time, like 18 years ago, and I was in it a bunch of other times, I would have NPR call, all these other channels going, you were in the New York Times, how does it feel to make it? Because to them, and it wasn't even a big deal 15 years ago, they just still thought it was a big deal. And that's all it was good for to go on Fox and CNN, was that affiliates would pick us up because, oh, we'd arrived, even though there weren't big audiences there. Or sponsors would spend money with us and then get a result, but they would trust us to make a big purchase just because they'd seen me on CNN. But that was 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 years ago. We literally, like the space shuttle with its rocket boosters falling off, We don't need you. You're gone. You're empty. Bye-bye. Bye-bye. You're empty. You're a joke. Now, they're going to counter-strike, and I'm going to talk about this when we come back from break, against the real media, the new media, the independent media. We got to stick together. The battle's far from won, but we are winning this round. And if we have the initiative, get the eye of the tiger, get really aggressive, open a big can of whoop booty, and just get in there and start attacking with the truth, we're going to beat them. They're going to hit the ground. They're never going to get back up. We're real close to slitting their throat ear to ear. And that tongue ain't going to flap anymore once we pull it out. Only the truth could set CNN free. Only covering real issues. They'd have 15 million viewers a night on Piers Morgan like the Bible series had, if it was wholesome and good. They'd have 15 million viewers a night like Duck Dynasty if they were real. People want what's real. They don't want what's fake, Piers. And by the way, you speak of Eye of the Tiger. You're the ones talking about how you want to kill me, and then how Piers Morgan would dress up in a uniform to kill me, and they've got the ambassador's tart daughter up there promoting all this. You know, I'm not kidding, Piers. It would have saved your show if you'd have been man enough with you and Buzz Bissinger at the same time to take me on with gloves, because you're a coward, or bare knuckles, in the ring. I mean, I'm not kidding. You'd have 50 million viewers for something like that. You could have pay-per-view and raise $50 million for Haitian relief or whatever, $1 per viewer. Guaranteed. You hype that up for a month, you'd have tens of millions of viewers, literally, but you don't understand it, do you? And I would have gotten that ring and stomped you into the ground. You and Buzz Bissinger, who want to sit around talking about how you want to kill me with a gun. That's right. You want the guns. You want to take the guns from us, ladies and gentlemen. So I stood up to the challenge. I said, oh, you want to kill me? How about you get in the ring? And you never took the challenge, did you, Piers? We got, what was it, 1 million signatures when it was finally said and done to deport your fat butt out of the U.S.? All we needed was 25,000? Because, again, you don't have a First Amendment right to come here and call for my rights to be taken. You don't like this country, get out of it. And that's what Jay Leno told you behind the scenes. I was told by his head producer that Jay Leno went back on that episode where Jay Leno played clips of me and talked about it and said, hey, you know, the problem is, he said this on air too, but he said, listen, you're not an American and people don't like you being anti-gun on air. So I suggest you back off of it if you want to be popular. And of course he didn't. He thought he could teach us Yanks a thing or two, just like his ancestors did in 1776. And hey, here's the deal. You're the one that isn't standing anymore, buddy boy. I never had a big Time Warner, AOL, $100 billion company to put me on air. I never had all that type of stuff. I had nothing. I think my dad loaned me like $20,000 over the first year when I first did my Access show, and then luckily got a local radio show. That's the reality here, ladies and gentlemen, of what has happened and what has unfolded. And notice the media came out and said the pro-gun people are discredited. Alex Jones has discredited us, and they had the Democrats all saying that because if everybody started acting like me, getting aggressive, getting back in their face, going, I'm not having a debate with you. This is my right. It lowers crime to own guns. You want victim disarmament. Stop acting like you don't want to take guns. Here's Dianne Feinstein's quote. Everywhere you people are in control, you take the general public's guns. This is a mafia criminal takeover. The psychotropic drugs you promote on this show with your sponsors are what are connected to people in mass shootings. Why don't you admit that? I'm calling you out. If you want a civil war, enemy, you're going to get one, Redcoat. Don't make the mistakes your ancestors made. Straight talk, folks. Straight talk. And it was an absolute devastating victory to arrogantly speak in a British accent to him, to arrogantly get back in his face. Nothing against British people, to just be clear on that. Talking about Piers Morgan, who's loathed in England. To let him know that I could speak in a voice like this as well and be condescending. And they admitted to me when I saw him in Houston, and his producer, they said, no, we wanted you back on. We understand record ratings, but it's been decided that you shouldn't be given that much attention. You mean the explosion it caused, which makes me more powerful and hurts you. You don't want to go in the ring in that explosion with me. Because I've got the Constitution, Bill of Rights, and common sense on my side. I'm the Iron Man compared to you, buddy. And I'm ready to go in a room with 1,000 pounds of TNT and have you push the plunger down. But you crawled out of that explosion and were actually dead on arrival. And so you thought you'd have other people on to have fake debates with them, and they cleaned your clock as well. You kept looking for pro-gun people that you could beat. And the truth is you lost on your own home turf, the intellectual battle, and now Piers Morgan has had his show canceled. But you canceled your show the day you decided to push anti-liberty, unpopular agendas. But see, the big banks can print unlimited trillions, so they don't care about the money. But see, there's a problem. They don't have the ratings, though. And now the facade that they had ratings, the facade that they were the big media, the facade that they were in the 20-story buildings in downtown New York and 30-story buildings, the facade that they were the audience and they were the market, it's all over. It's all over. And when it's all said and done, there's not going to be a Fox News to speak of because their audience is dying, quite literally. But it'll be the last standing. CNN, MSNBC, they're all going to go to the way of the dodo bird. They're all going to go the way of the saber-toothed cats. They're all going to go the way of the woolly mammoth and the mastodon and the brachiosaur and triceratops and megalodon, the super shark. You're all going the way. And there might still be an occasional coelacanth caught off the coast of Madagascar. But for all intents and purposes, you are extinct. Stick a fork in your degenerate, vampiric butt because you are done. You are over. It's done. Every poll, every metric, every number, 6% approval rating for Congress, 19% approval rating for mainstream media on the high end, 16 on the low end. You're gone. You're over. You're dead. And the last few liberal, wannabe, well-meaning bleeding hearts that bought into your cosmology because they really do care, they're going to wake up as they're betrayed very, very quickly. And the Republican leadership that thinks they're going to block the Tea Party and the Libertarian Revolution, you're done too. No amount of false flags, no amount of stage terror, no matter how big the war is, this stuff doesn't work anymore. The tricks don't work anymore. It's like a heroin addict that's shooting 100 times what they were shooting 10 years before. And no matter how big the dose, it's just never as good as it was. And soon you're just going to OD on your false flags and your propaganda and your race baiting and your condescension and all of your garbage. Nothing can put Humpty Dumpty back together again. And Piers Morgan never fell. Piers Morgan never arrived. He was a hoax from the beginning. And I happen to know that the Time Warner programmers are fully aware that if they put someone like me on, I would have 2 million viewers the first night. I would have 5 million in 2 weeks, 10 million in 3 weeks, 15 million in a month. It would go up to 20 million if they let me say what I wanted and have the guest on. It would shake up the whole country. And then, what would they do? Well, again, that would upset the entire apple cart. People are hungry for all of that. They're hungry to get the country back. They're hungry. But see, the establishment, it isn't about ratings. It's about the illusion that they are the establishment in their suits, sitting back in an English accent. That will impress the country bumpkins in flyover country. No, it doesn't impress the country bumpkins. And I called the hoax what it was, a red coat snake, hacking scandal fraudster who publishes fake photos in newspapers of troops urinating on people. That's Piers Morgan. I called him out as the fraud and the scamster he was. And they had guys with their fist bowed turning red, threatening me in front of Rob Dew that I better get out or I would have trouble with their security people. And I looked at all of them and laughed at them and I said, I beat you. And I said, go ahead, do something to me and see what happens. I'll kick your asses right now, I told CNN. I will beat your ass. I told their security people right there going out the door. Rob Dew was there. I was like, go ahead, tough guys. Bow your fist up. Get in my face. Do something. You see, you can't win. I'm going to beat you. I'm going to crush you. I'm going to bring you down with the American people. We are together. We have the eye of the tiger. We have the vision. We are going to bring you down. Myself, the American people, the people that love liberty. We got a hold of you, and we're not letting go. We don't care. We may go down with you, but you're going down. Do you understand that? And you can't stand up against a spirit like that. We see you. Look at you. 350,000 viewers on average on their top shows in prime time. You are pathetic. No one wants to watch you. No one wants to listen to you. No one wants to hear what you have to say. You are scum. You are failures. You are done. Symbols are powerful, and the globalists have hijacked the symbols of America. They've turned them into their own symbols. Well, we are restoring the idea of the true republic, not the counterfeit globalist empire, by promoting the icon George Washington and others. That's why we're rolling out an 100% made in America line of incredible pro-liberty apparel. We are repopularizing liberty. We are helping fellow Americans rediscover what made this country great. We are the spirit of 1776. We are 1776 worldwide. We are all brothers and sisters in arms in the animating contest of liberty in the long march towards humanity's ultimate destiny of freedom. Visit madein1776.com today and vote with your dollars to promote truly made in America, high-quality products, and promote the ideals of liberty.
Now you can watch The Alex Jones Show live as it happens at Infowars.com/show.
You'll find links to all of our content there and a free 15-day trial for Prison Planet TV.
More than 60 movies and documentaries all in one place at Infowars.com/show.